Let's explore the ribbon in more detail now. You'll remember that I positioned the command buttons at the left of the audio editor window here. Many of these are commands normally found within the menu options at the top left of our user interface. And in essence, that's one way of understanding how Wavelab is laid out. It's like having multiple but still combined programs within one user interface. We could think of the audio editor window as being like a conventional audio editor, but Wavelab includes other panels above the main waveform display. We saw in the last tutorial how to present the Wavelab user interface more like we would be used to by expanding the audio editor window to pretty much fill the screen. I'll do that again in a moment. Remember, it's easy to position the command panel buttons by clicking this button at the right and activating appropriately the radio button choices for the command bar, transport bar and file group tabs. If we do wish to predominantly fill the screen with the audio editor window, we just click that button there, and we now get the panel covering most of the user interface. At present, no audio file is open, but we can rectify that easy enough. So from here, we would either create a new audio file or open an existing one. One way to do either of those options is to click here in the expanded window and choose to create a new file from the Reveal menu and selecting Audio File as the type of new file required. This immediately opens this window into view to allow us to specify the audio file attributes, bit depth, channels, stereo or mono, and sample rate. I'll look more at this option later. I'll close it for now and click here again to show that we can create different types of file from here. We could create an audio montage, a combination of multiple audio files, or a podcast, etc., any of these from here. That's the button that opens into view a way of creating a new file type. Next to it is the button that allows us to open an existing audio file, or indeed an existing different type of file, such as an audio file already recorded and stored on our drive, or an already created audio montage, etc., any of these types from this list. I'll choose to open an already recorded audio file by selecting relevantly there. I'll then navigate to a file, that one will do. Of course, now the waveform display for this existing piano file opens up in the audio editor window. And because we have set the user interface to display the waveform enlarged like this, the ribbon that always resides just above the waveform display now presents command options close to the top left of the user interface, where we have grown accustomed to seeing menu options there. Additionally, because I have the ribbon panel set to remain in view and not immediately collapse out of sight when selected, I can select any of these tabs and access functionality pertinent to that panel. For example, if I want to raise the level of this file by normalizing it, I would select the Level Normalizer button found there in the Process panel. And this floating window opens and allows me to initially check the loudest peak within this file, and then process by normalizing to a user-specified level. Here I've got this set to raise the level to peak at just under 0 dB at minus 0.5 dB. Once I've done that, the waveform increases in size to reflect the newly adjusted volume of this file. If I subsequently change my mind about that process, I can use the command menu to undo that by clicking on the undo button there. And as a result, we see the waveform return to its previous state that reflects its previous playback volume. So with the ribbon, we can flick between specific audio editing and enhancing options by selecting from these tabs: File, View, Edit, Insert, and Process. The tab names indicate the type of editing available in that mini section. Now I'm going to leave it here and we'll continue in the next one, so I'll see you in a second.